from the harsh and almost merciless Mongolian steppe. A young boy was born with a destiny even his own family could never have imagined. A boy who was abandoned, nearly starved to death, enslaved, and hunted by his own tribe. But it was from this darkest point that a figure was born who would shake the entire world. This is the story of Genghis Khan, the most legendary conqueror in human history. It's told from his birth to his final moments. Hello everyone, welcome to this channel. I'm Rai, and in this video we'll explore the story of one of the most influential and feared figures in world history. Genghis Khan, the founder of the Mongol Empire who united the steppe tribes and conquered half of Eurasia. Many people know him as a great conqueror who never lost a battle. But behind that lies a much deeper story. It's about a dark childhood, betrayal, loss, and the ambition that shaped him into the most legendary leader in human history. So, prepare yourselves because today we'll delve into the life of Genghis Khan, from his youth as Temujin on the Mongolian steppe, to his rise as the great Khan who shook the world. Here are the complete historical facts about Genghis Khan, the conqueror whose name will live on forever. Genghis Khan was born around 1162 near the Onon River in Mongolia as Temujin. He was the son of Yesugei, a chieftain of a small Borjigin clan, and Helen, a formidable woman who would play a significant role in his life. Mongolian legend holds that Temujin was born with the blood clot in his hand, a sign of a powerful future. While this legend is difficult to prove, one thing is certain. Temujin was born in an era when Mongolian tribes were constantly fighting for power and influence. The initial tragedy came around 1171, when Temujin was 9 years old. His father was poisoned by Tatars on his way home after escorting Temujin to the family of Berte, his future wife. Yesugei's death set the stage for a devastating fate for this small family. Without the protection of their tribal leader, they were abandoned by their own clan and forced to survive by hunting field mice, eating roots, and enduring the brutal cold of the Mongolian winters. In his teenage years, Temujin faced a major conflict with his half-brother Bektar. A dispute over food and family leadership ended tragically when Temujin killed Bektar. This event was an emotional turning point that hardened his character. Shortly thereafter, the Taichud tribe, his father's longtime enemies, captured Temujin and enslaved him. He was shackled to a large wooden block before finally escaping with the help of a sympathetic man from the tribe. This escape strengthened Temujin's resolve to rise up and reclaim his honor. After escaping and rebuilding his power, Temujin married Berti around 1180, fulfilling an old agreement. However, shortly afterward, Berta was kidnapped by the Merkits. Temujin immediately sought the help of two important allies, his childhood friend Jamuka and Togrul, Wang Khan, a powerful Karaite leader. Together they attacked the Merkits and successfully rescued Berta. This success cemented Temujin's reputation as a brave and strategic leader. However, the relationship between Temujin and Jamuka began to fray. The two had been raised together as foster brothers, but their ambitions led them down different paths. Jamuka felt he had a better right to lead the Mongols due to his noble birth, while Temujin had the support of the common people in small clans. This dispute sparked a long civil war, known as the 12 Years' War, 1194–1206. Major battles were fought in various locations, including the battles of Karulen, Dalan Baljut, and Turgun. Temujin's bravery, the discipline of his troops, and his ability to unite the smaller tribes outside the nobility gradually led him to defeat Jamuka. In 1204, Jamuka's power was shattered, and then in 1206, Jamuka was captured. He asked for a bloodless death as a final act of honor, and Temujin granted his request. In 1206, The major tribes of Mongolia held a Kurultai, a grand assembly that marked the unification of the entire Mongol nation. At this meeting, Temujin was given the title Genghis Khan, or Universal Ruler. This moment marked the birth of the Mongol Empire. After being crowned Great Khan in 1206, Genghis Khan immediately set in motion his ambitious plan to unify the surrounding regions of Mongolia and establish a powerful empire. His first target was the Western Sia, a kingdom located in southwestern Mongolia. In 1209, after a series of battles, the Western Sia submitted and came under Mongol influence. Genghis Khan then directed his forces towards the much larger Jin dynasty in northern China, then a major Asian power. In 1211, the Mongols launched a massive attack. The mobility of the Mongol cavalry, coupled with Genghis Khan's strategic ingenuity, overwhelmed the Jin. In 1215, the Jin capital Yanjing, Beijing, fell to the Mongols. This victory marked a significant milestone in Genghis Khan's expansion and demonstrated that steppe peoples were capable of conquering a great civilization like China. One of the most famous and brutal conquests in Genghis Khan's history was his campaign against the Khwarezm Empire, 1219-1221, whose territory encompassed modern-day Iran, Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, and Afghanistan. Genghis Khan initially intended to establish peaceful trade relations. However, when the governor of Otrar killed Mongol merchants and envoys in 1218, Genghis Khan was enraged. The killing of envoys was considered the greatest insult in Mongol culture. In 1219, Genghis Khan launched a massive counter-offensive, falling city after city to the Mongols. Otrar was destroyed, Bukhara was captured in 1220, and Samarkand surrendered shortly thereafter. Many cities that resisted were completely destroyed, leaving a trail of historical significance that remains controversial to this day. After conquering Khwarezm, Genghis Khan sent two of his most famous generals, Jaybi and Subutai, on a massive conquest expedition westward. In 1221-1223, they marched through Persia, across the Caucasus, into southern Russia, defeated various Russ's armies, and returned to Mongolia in an epic journey that circled half the continent. These victories established the Mongol Empire as one of the greatest powers ever, both in territory and military might. Even in his advanced age, Genghis Khan continued to wage war. In 1226, he decided to reinvade the Western Xia, whom he considered a traitor and had refused to aid the Mongols in previous expeditions. The campaign was fierce and exhausting. Amidst these battles in August 1227, Genghis Khan died at the age of approximately 65. The exact cause of his death has never been definitively recorded. Some accounts say he fell from a horse, others said he was ill, and others have unsubstantiated stories. After his death, his body was returned to Mongolia and buried secretly according to Mongol tradition, without a sign, without a monument, and without a grand procession. To this day, the location of Genghis Khan's tomb remains one of the greatest mysteries in world history. After Genghis Khan's death, power was passed on to his sons, particularly Ögedei Khan, who continued the expansion of the Mongol Empire, becoming the largest land empire in human history. From a child nearly starving to death in the steppe, Genghis Khan grew into a figure who changed the course of world history. He was not only a conqueror, but also a leader who established a legal system, religious freedom, and modern administration within an enormous empire. His legacy and controversies live on to this day. Some remember him as a military genius, while others remember him as the destroyer of great cities. But one thing is certain: Genghis Khan's name will always be immortalized as one of the most influential figures in human history. Okay everyone, if you enjoyed this video, Don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons below to encourage me to create more content like this. Okay friends, I'm Rai, goodbye. See you in the next video.